Shalom, it's Rabbi Alex, it's Cantor Frank, and welcome to Story Time at Congregation Shir Shalom in Williamsville, New York. And today, Cantor Frank and I are going to talk to you a little bit about the Hebrew letters. Now look, this is the Aleph Bet, and you'll notice it actually goes a different direction than the English alphabet. The English alphabet would start over here. Hebrew goes this way. Now these letters might look a little confusing, but we're going to sing a little song to help you learn them.
You know, when you sing something, it's always easier to learn when you're singing about something. So let's sing about the Aleph Bet. Let's learn the alphabet, simple as it can be. You'll learn the alphabet if you sing the letters after me. Each letter has a name and a sound it always makes. So let's sing a special chorus. You'll have fun, it will not bore us. The Aleph Bet. Here we go. Aleph Bet Bet.
Aleph Bet Bet.
Gimel Dalet Hey.
Gimel Dalet Hey.
Vav Zayin Chet Tet.
Vav Zayin Chet Tet.
Yud Kaf Chaf.
Yud Kaf Kaf.
Lamed Mem Nun.
Lamed Mem Nun.
Samech Ayin Pei Pei.
Samech Ayin Pei Pei.
Sadi Kuf Resh.
Sadi Kuf Resh.
Shin Sin Tav.
Shin Sin Taf.
Let's try it once again. We'll practice the alphabet. Each time we sing our song, the easier it gets. You sing it first this time. Sing it loud, let me hear your voice. I will hear you getting better when you sing each Hebrew letter. It's the Aleph Bet. Aleph Bet Bet. Aleph Bet Bet. Gimel Dalet Hey.
Gimel Dalet Hey.
Vav Zayin Chet Tet.
Vav Zayin Chet Tet.
Yud Kaf Chaf.
Yud Kaf Kaf.
Lamed Mem Nun.
Lamed Mem Nun.
Samech Ayin Pei Pei.
Samech Ayin Pei Pei.
Sadi Kuf Resh.
Sadi Kuf Resh.
Shin Sin Tav. One more time. Shin
Sin Taf. All right, now that we've sung a little song, that was great.
Oh.
I think we're going to tell a little story about the Aleph Bet. This story is about someone named Sarah who goes to religious school for the very first time. Now, her parents took her into the school, and it seemed like everyone knew what they were doing, and she didn't know a lot of the kids, and she was a little scared. But not to worry, Mrs. Bergman, the kindergarten teacher, sat her down with the other students and started showing her the Aleph Bet. And she showed her the first 10 letters. Aleph, which is a funny letter because it usually doesn't make a sound. Sometimes we say, make a sound of an Aleph. No laughing during that because then the Aleph doesn't laugh. Let's try that again. Make a sound of an Aleph. Bet and vet, which is the same letter, but it sounds a little different. It could be ba or va, gimel, ga, daled, da, hey, ha, vav, va, zayin, za, chet, cha. That's what we learned before with the Am Yisrael Chai. You have to use your throat. Tet, ta, and yud, ya. So she learned all those letters with Mrs. Bergman, and she practiced them over and over. And that Friday night, she and her parents came to services for the very first time. And they sat down with the Hebrew prayer book. And Sarah started looking at the prayers, and she knew there were Hebrew letters, but she didn't understand them. And she was getting a little worried, just like she had when she first started religious school. But then she remembered what Mrs. Bergman taught her, and she started saying something that sounded a little funny, and I know Cantor's going to help me. So she started saying these funny words. She first said, Abgedah,
Abgedah,
Abgedah.
Abgedah,
And then she said, Vizchati,
Vizchati,
Vizchati.
Vizchati.
And she started saying this really softly to herself as she looked at the Hebrew letters in the prayer book. She said, Abgedah, Vizchati,
Abgedah, Vizchati. No,
Vizchati.
Vizchati.
And she said it louder, Abgedah, Vizchati. As she got more confident, she got even louder. Abgedah, Vizchati.
Abgedah, Vizchati.
Until she was almost screaming it. And everyone around her was looking at her. And they turned to her. And even her parents were saying, shh.
Oh, no.
But-
Abgedah, Vizchati.
Yes, she kept saying it until the rabbi actually stopped the service.
Oh my
And the rabbi came over to Sarah and her parents. He said, little girl, what's your name? And she said that her name was Sarah. And the rabbi asked her, what are you saying? Those words sound amazing. What are those words? And she told the rabbi, Abgedah Vizchati. And the rabbi said, let's say it one more time. Abgedah Vizchati. The rabbi went back up on the bima and took out a picture just like this and brought it over to Sarah and to her parents and showed her the letters. And she said, Sarah, did you have Mrs. Bergman on Sunday? Did Mrs. Bergman show you the Hebrew letters? And Sarah nodded. And were these the Hebrew letters that Mrs. Bergman showed you? The Aleph and the Bet and the Gimel and the Dalet and the Hey and the Vav and the Zayin and the Chet and the Tet and the Yud? And Sarah nodded and she started smiling. And the rabbi told Sarah, I think I know what you're saying. You are saying the letters of the Hebrew alphabet. You're saying Abgedah Vizchati. And Sarah said, And the rabbi said, you know what? I think we should all say those letters together as a congregation because God will know how to put the letters in the right order and direction, and God will surely hear our prayers. And that's how the congregation started chanting Abgedah Vizchati. I think we're ready to hear the Aleph Bet now that you know some of the letters. I bet you can even do it better this time.
Aleph Bet Bet,
Aleph Bet Bet,
Gimel Dalet Hey, Gimel Dalet Hey, Vav Zayin Chet Tet, Vav Zayin Chet Tet, Yud Kaf Chaf,
Yud Kaf Chaf,
Lamed Mem Nun,
Lamed Mem Nun,
Samech Ayin Pei Pei,
Samech Ayin Pei Pei,
Tzadik Kuf Resh, Tzadik Kuf Resh, Shin, Sin, Tav. Last time, Shin,
Sin Tav. That was great. So Shabbat Shalom. Here's to a joyous Shabbat and have a wonderful rest of your day as well.
Abgedah Vizchati.
You got it.
Shabbat Shalom.